Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Harihi Om.
That which we call the outer world is perfect. This which we call the inner world is perfect. Each one filled with divine consciousness. Perfect comes from perfect. Take perfect from perfect. The remainder is perfect. Divine consciousness is non-dual. Anything that emerges from the divine consciousness is whole, is complete, is Purna. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Purnamada with our mentor, Dr. Tripti Jain. We have been lucky to have Dr. Tripti Jain, one of the leading past life regression therapists, not only of India, I would say, but so many people from across the world during the past 1 year have benefited from Dr. Jain's vast experience. Welcome, Dr. Tripti Jain.
Thank you, Ravi. Thank you so much.
And our guest today is Renuka. Welcome, Renuka.
Thank you so much, Ravi.
Renuka is a fellow therapist based out of Delhi. She is a practicing holistic healer. She was working in one of the biggest IT companies in India. However, her interests and keenness towards the metaphysical pulled her away from the corporate world into the world of healing and abundant living, as she so beautifully puts it. So the last 18 years for her have been wonderful and enlightening in the mystic world. She's working with the past life regression therapy, numbers and frequencies, chakra balancing. She's a tarot card reader. She also conducts dream analysis, angel guidance. She's a practicing Reiki grandmaster, and she loves to integrate all her knowledge for the purpose of helping not only herself, but also so many of her clients and helping them resolve their issues. Really amazing work that you have, a body of work that you have behind you, Renuka. We're lucky to have you, and looking forward to hearing from you about your journey.
Yes, absolutely, Ravi.
Thank you for having me here.
We are really excited, Renuka. And like Ravi spoke about the various...
Thank you so much.
Like Ravi spoke about the various healing modalities that you practice, Renuka, I'm sure as a child also and growing up, you would have been interested in some healing or some kind of spiritual leanings. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yes, sure. Before that, I would really like to thank you, ma'am. I mean, to the world, you are Dr. Tripti Jain. To many of us, I mean, Ravi would endorse that you're fondly
Absolutely.
called as Ma. I mean,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know from where the
so
new
one we
name
have the
has come.
biological. No, because one has been a biological mother. We all have our biological mothers, which have been our spiritual mom. So you're the
Thank you.
spiritual mom, and that's why you're fondly called Ma.
Yeah, so Renuka, generally, you know, I mean, people who are interested in spiritual work as a child, they're either very kind of religious or they do a lot of puja or, you know, lots of things they do. And then slowly, as life goes on, they get into this kind of healing work. So Renuka, what about you? बचपन में काफी किया है तुमने
Yes,
पूजा?
Ma. Yes, Ma. Though my father belonged to the Indian Army, but in our house, it was more like a discipline, doing puja. So mom and dad were very spiritual. We had one big mandir. In fact, one room, always, every place we used to be posted in, one room was totally dedicated to a mandir. And so mom would do so we used to have this jot ceremony morning and evening, both the times. And evening time, it was expected that all of us, we were four siblings, that we are supposed to go to the mandir with mom, stand there, do the puja, to the extent that we had a dog. He was a, Apso, and even his name was White Socks. And I distinctly remember White Sox was also supposed to sit outside the mandir during the time of the puja.
Naam bada interesting hai, White Sox.
White Sox.
Because he was gifted to my father from the Royal Kennel of Britain, and he was totally black in color, but his paws were white in color. So it seemed as if he's wearing socks.
Wearing white socks.
White socks.
White socks.
How cute is that?
Yeah.
So that's great. So puja part chalti rahi.
Part chalti thi. We were encouraged to read Amar Chitra Katha. So, and then dad made it a point that at the time of the dinner, on the dinner table, he would discuss that with us.
Okay.
So we were brought up with a lot of spirituality around us.
Stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all the other stuff. So that, yeah, that's very interesting actually. I think हम भी जब छोटे थे तो, you know, we used to also be told such stories. But अभी आजकल शायद रवि बच्चों को अमर चित्र कथा पढ़ते हैं क्या?
I don't think you kind of get Amar Chitra Katha. I've not seen one in ages.
Really?
However, I went to a bookstore recently and there were Bhagavad Gita for children. There were the Vedas explained for children.
Okay.
Illustrative. So there are, but I don't know how far the children really read. And
yeah, that's the question. $1,000,000 question ever. But I think for Renuka, it was definitely important to read the Amar Chitra Katha.
It was, and Chanda Mama.
Chanda Mama, yeah.
Yes.
And then slowly, what happened? Did you pursue spirituality as you grew up?
Yes, spirituality was a part of our living. And but more than that, my interest in past life was more so because my mom, she remembered her past life naturally.
Okay.
So 3 of her past lives, she remembered naturally. So I remember as a child when others in the classroom during our free period would tell stories about other things, about probably Cinderellas and Snow Whites at our time, I would be the one who would be talking about that there is something called as, I would be telling them, पिछला जन्म भी होता है, मेरी मम्मी का पिछला जन्म था, 3 times to my nani's house. And I would actually find everybody paying attention and listening to me with so much of awe. And I would tell them, and this actually happened because Ma, she would tell me at times that when she was leaving her body, she was just 12 years old. This was her second life to my nani. Second time she was born to my nani. So she told her that, I would be coming to you again. And how would you recognize that I'm the same child who's coming back to you is I would be having certain changes in my body, which you will be able to see. And that's what it actually happened. And by the time my mom was 2 or 3 years old, which you would validate, which normally happens, children start asking, Mera wo kahan hai, wo person kahan hai. So my mom also started asking all these questions. And so the surety that there is something like a past life was very much there. So that interest got inculcated around
But
that
that's
time.
very interesting, Renuka. So your Nani and your mother have been together in multiple lifetimes.
3 lifetimes.
Three
In this
lifetime.
lifetime, in this lifetime, my mom was born to my Nani 3 times. So she was born and she passed away at the age of 4.
Okay.
Then my Nani again conceived and my mom came, and then she passed away at the age of 12.
Okay.
And then the third time my mom was born, third time she was born as my mom.
As your mother. Oh.
As my mother.
Oh, in this current lifetime.
Current lifetimes.
Oh, your
she was
grandmother
born.
conceived once, lost the baby, conceived again,
Conceived.
child passed away at 12, and then your mother was conceived.
Then my mom was born.
Oh,
And
that's
second
very
time when she was 12 years old, so my mom, she was born in Dehradun, but brought up in Shimla. And Mama, she would know. She said that when she was 12 years old, she even told my Nani, "Ki I know where my last rites were performed. And that place is also there. That Shiv Mandir is there. There was a Sheela on which her last rites were performed. And so when she was 2 years old, she'll say, "Ki aap mere ko wahan lekar jao, wahan pe you know." So my Nani would get very agitated because she would get worried ki why the child is saying all these things. And then she noticed, so my mom in her right foot, she had 4 fingers instead of 5.
Okay.
And before she passed away, she told this to my Nani that when I'll come, I will have 4 fingers in this foot of mine. Certain other birthmarks, she told her that you would find these marks on my body, and that will validate that I'm the same soul coming to you again.
Wow, that's fascinating, Ravi. That before I pass away, I am already planning my next birth and even telling the person the signs that I'm going to have.
So don't grieve too much. I'm coming back to you, and it's me, and you will see these signs that it is me.
Yes.
Wow. Fantastic, Renuka. What a amazing.
She was a very spiritual, very spiritual woman. And of course, I'll come to that point where you were the one who told this to me. I mean, you don't remember it, but I remember that very distinctly.
Really? Okay. Please let me also in on that secret. I've forgotten actually.
Yes.
So then what happened? I mean, then to corporate life. We just said you got into corporate life. So what happened?
Yes, ma. So as I kept growing up, obviously, then your attention goes more towards your career building and all. And so I did my post-graduation in English literature, did my B.Ed, and then I did my MBA. I was inducted into one of the biggest IT companies of that time, and I worked with them for 10 years. Now, during my college time, my higher studies, I fell in love with my husband, current husband. So I fell in love with him, and we got married. But it was a very tough marriage. And while I was working in the world, I was very successful. I saw team reporting to, and I found that I could, connect well with the people. But my own unhappy life, my personal life, it kept bothering me, and always I had this question: why me?
Right.
And one of the most unfortunate things that happened around that time was that I became very angry. So my situations around me, my personal situations, made me into a very angry woman. Very angry, and which was so much unlike me and my upbringing. So there was a clash between what I was internally as a person and what my external circumstances were pushing me to become.
Yeah, really.
It was 1998. And one of my own students in NIT, she told me that, ma'am, why don't you learn Reiki?
Mm-hmm.
Now, apart from past life, I had never heard about anything. I only knew astrology because in my family, from my paternal side, we are 7th-generation astrologers.
Okay.
So astrology was the only thing I knew. And numerology, a little bit I knew because my father was practicing numerology and astrology. So I said, okay, what's this Reiki? So I went to my teacher to learn Reiki, and I told her, I wish to learn Reiki, but only because I want to get some peace with it.
Correct.
But don't ask me to forgive XYZ people in my life. A few people, and I said, I don't wish to forgive them, but yet I want to learn Reiki. Learn Reiki. And only when I started learning Reiki, some peace started coming in. And I realized that forgiveness is releasing my own self before I release the other person.
Very true. Very, very true. Yes.
So from there, my journey of spirituality started.
Yeah. That's a big thing, Renuka, that you're saying about how personal challenges and conflicts, we hold them so tight, we don't want to release that, knowing full well it's a burden, it's causing so much of panic and anxiety and depression, but we don't want to let it go.
Because that's known.
And when you let it go, you actually become who you are going to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
True. But at that point of time, my anger was my mechanism of survival.
Yes, that's
what happens with most of us.
Yes.
After that, I learned tarot. I was encouraged by my father that now you learn. So I learned tarot, and I felt that my connection is naturally with my cards and all. Now, while all this was happening, in 2004, I lost my mom.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I was not here. I was not in India. So I just leave 2 days before my mom passes away. And surprisingly, Ma, at that point of time, for those 2 days before I had to leave for US to my brother, I kept crying and crying and crying. I had resigned from NIT because I was planning a baby. It was already 10 years to my marriage. So I knew I had to go for an IVF.
Right.
So I decided to resign from my organization. And mom passed away. And before mom, so when I was going to NIT, I got in touch with Dr. Brian Weiss.
And
I sent him a mail and I told him I want to come to Omega and I wish to learn. I'm interested in inquisitive in this field and I wish to learn. And unfortunately, mom passed away and I came back.
Oh, so you couldn't go to Omega and learn?
I couldn't. I came back and life happened. My child happened. But something was missing. I was not myself. I always kept thinking, there is something which I need to do, but I don't know what it is. So I remember I was sitting in the family and I just told my sister, younger to me, she's a doctor by profession. And I told her, I said, I think I need to go again to learn past life. So she says, whom do you wish to learn it from? I said, Dr. Brian Weiss. She says, but you are not going to be happy going away from dad.
Okay.
So why don't you do it? Why don't you find somebody here in India? I said, no, if it's in India, it has to be the best. And I'm talking to the best right now. So I said, yes. And then I searched on the internet and I got Abhilasha's number. I spoke to her and I did my first level with you here in DEF Call.
Yeah, in Delhi Defense.
In Delhi.
Yeah.
I did it in 2014 and I think 15 or 16, then Ravi, we did the rest. So I had
Yeah.
made up my mind over there only that I am going to be doing the rest of the,
Courses.
learning the rest of the past life sessions with you and everything. So from there, my journey began. So my time when I learned with you, Ma, the first, our first part of
Yes.
the course.
Yes.
So one very important thing happened at that point of time.
Okay, please share.
You asked all of us to it. So it was, we had to go through this past life session. It was self hypnosis, and you told us that just naturally go into it and see what happens, and take up some issue that you would like to know about, or you want to cure, or you want to have answers to. I had this very stiff neck. Very, very stiff neck, and I would keep having pain, and there would be times when I would be wearing a collar. So spondylitis was what I was having.
Right.
I went through that session with you at that point of time. I saw myself in the year 786. Now, incidentally, 786 is also a number which is supposed to be spiritually very, very strong.
Correct.
And I see myself in Egypt. And incidentally, so I see myself, you know, I saw my skin to be that dusky color, but my eyes were totally blue. And Egyptians have black eyes or brown eyes, blue eyes were, and so I see myself running in a jungle, and I see that in that jungle there is this place, like you have this Roman, you know, the sitting area where they had their
arena, like it's called an arena.
Yeah. So, but this arena was square.
Okay.
And I also saw, before running over there, I see that I'm a person of royalty. I'm running over there. So we are in the jungle. It's like I have some other women also running around with me. Before that, I see my place where I'm living. And incidentally, I see my husband, who's a very close friend of mine in this lifetime.
Okay.
And I see a 3-year-old girl who's my daughter in this lifetime.
Right.
My daughter Shambhavi, I saw her in that lifetime first time. Okay. She was 3 years old. And after that, I see I'm going over there. And while running, I look back at all the other people following me, and I fall into that arena. Okay. And then I saw myself actually falling down. I could see my eyes, and I hit my neck and break my neck.
Okay, that's how you die.
That's how I died. And while I was going through that session, I was actually having so much of pain in my neck. And after that session, till date, touch wood, I knock the wood, there has never been any pain. I'm not wearing any collar. So my energies, which were stuck up over here at that point of time, released now.
Wow, fantastic.
And I asked you at that point of time, ma'am, I asked you, Ma, I said, was I imagining all this? I obviously just could not believe that, you know, you can go, you can do a past life session on yourself. I thought you are either born with it or you're not born with knowing something.
Correct.
So you told me, why don't you validate all that by checking on the internet and everything? So I came home, I sat with my father because he was very interested in knowing what happened during the day. And we sat and we came to know that at that point of time, there was a lot of influence of the Turks with the Egyptians.
Okay.
And the Egyptian art and architecture was really influenced by the Turks, and hence there was a lot of red and turquoise color that I saw in the architecture, and hence my eyes were also blue. Probably I was a cross between,
very interesting.
So the validation happened at that point of time that yes, you can access your past lives.
Right.
But it's an important point, Renuka. I think you know, for everybody who's watching this, this is such a lovely experience. That at that time, you know, what was significant for you to work with was the stiff neck or the spondylitis.
Yes.
And that's exactly the kind of lifetime that you saw, the where probably the root cause was, it came, and it probably matched the age that you were at in this lifetime. So so
Yes.
it's yeah, so it kind of everything coincided just at that time, and you were able to release the stuck or the block, that the reason for which you had this. So the pain kind of
Yeah.
got
Yes.
released.
And
So this is the beauty
imagine,
of past
Ravi,
lives.
absolutely a correct point. And most important is that imagine having a stiff neck. So, stiff neck is you are not open to lot many changes in your life.
Yeah.
You are so opinionated. And I guess I was. I mean, I feel very proud of the fact that I was at a level where I was confined in my own judgments, in my own certain opinions and belief systems,
That's
which
right.
were
Prejudices.
limiting
Yes.
me as a
That's
person.
true.
So it helped you physically and metaphorically. You kind of broke a lot of things that were kind of confined. You were confined in mentally. So you were breaking a lot of limitations, as you say.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. And a
Worked
stiff
double
neck.
fold.
Absolutely, Ravi. And a stiff neck means you can't see left and right, right?
Can't see left and right.
Exactly.
You can only see in the
Absolutely.
front.
You'll
So
only
it's
see.
like, yeah, like a narrow vision, like a tunnel
Yes.
vision.
Yes.
That's what you're saying, Renuka. Yeah. So then what happened? I mean, after that,
And after
realization.
that was the time when I realized that I need to learn further from you.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते